able to join us. All right. Thank you. Uh-oh. All right, couple of things to keep in mind as we are on Zoom. If you could please share your name and unit in chat. We'd like to make sure we know which units are getting the information. You can also use chat anytime you have a question or information that you want to share with others, and just be mindful of background noise. If there is background noise where you're at, please use mute if you need to. And we will have Cub Scout and Scouts BSA breakouts. So when we get to that section, we'll make sure we get everybody to the correct location. As you saw, the message came up, we are recording, and all of the roundtable content is available on the Gateway Scouting Roundtable page. Those recordings will be there, as well as the slideshow and any other resources that we share this evening. My name is Matt Pagliaro. I am a Cub Master in Holmen, and I lead the team that plans these roundtables. Other members of that team, Dirk and Steve, are from the Cub Scout and Scouts BSA district committee, and then we have Morgan and Ashley and Joe from council staff. If you ever have any topics or questions or things that you'd like us to cover at Roundtable, please feel free to contact any of us. We are always looking for ideas. All right, with that being said, I think I saw David was on. I'm going to turn it over to him to lead the pledge and the opening.
Okay, for the Pledge of Allegiance, would everybody please do the Scout salute if you're in uniform, or hand over chest if not? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Thank you. Okay, Scout oath, Scout sign, or Cub Scout sign. On my honor, I will do my best.
Do my duty.
God and
my country.
To obey the Scout law.
To help other people at all times.
To keep
myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Scout law. A Scout is
trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
2. And then we've been doing the outdoor code. As an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners, to be careful with fire, be considerate in the outdoors, and be conservation minded. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Always a pleasure to have you with us. All right, we do have a packed schedule this evening, so we will get moving. So we'll have a safety moment and in just a moment, and then our main theme for tonight, our hot topic, is how to share information about scouting, kind of sharing your scouting story. We have a lot to celebrate this year and this month especially. We will have our Scouts BSA and Cub Scout breakouts, and then we've got some updates of upcoming council events and projects that are happening. All right, Dirk was going to lead this, but he messaged me and told me that he was having some technical issues, so I'm going to run through our safety moment. Last month, our safety moment was kind of based on winter sports and having the correct equipment. And this month, kind of continuing with that same theme, how to keep warm and keep safe when doing outdoor activities, because extreme weather conditions and unique hazards are associated oftentimes with winter activities. So it starts with good nutrition, building the fire within. So things like foods that are high in sugars, carbohydrates, and proteins and fats are going to help kind of start that fire and keep it going to keep us and our scouts warm. Good tip is to stay away from caffeinated drinks like soda and coffee and tea, especially in extreme weather, drinking lots of water to keep properly hydrated. And then we also have a little acronym here to remember. Ways to stay warm. We're going to actually use the cold method to stay warm. So the C stands for clean. making sure that our clothing is kept clean so that the insulating layers stay fluffy. That air is what provides that insulation. Dirt and perspiration can kind of mat that insulation down and prevent it from working to its best ability. O is to prevent overheating by using different layers and adding layers or removing layers as we're doing more or less physical activity outdoors. L is for loose layers, which will allow for ample blood circulation, which will help to keep all of our fingers and toes and all of that warm. And then D is dry. We want to make sure that we are always dry by avoiding clothing that's going to absorb sweat and perspiration. And also, if we are outdoors and clothes are full of snow, always make sure that that gets brushed off before we head indoors so that it doesn't melt and keep us wet. So lots of good tips. These are things that I think as leaders we often know, but we need to remind some of our youth about these things frequently. All right, and we do have a lot to celebrate. Yesterday was the anniversary of the founding of Scouts in America back in 1910. So we're celebrating the 113th anniversary. So happy birthday to Scouts BSA. Because of that, there's a lot to celebrate in the month of February. And Morgan is going to share a little bit with us about ways that we can kind of celebrate by sharing scouting and things like Scouting Sunday and things like that.
Yeah, so yesterday was the birthday for Scouts, but typically they either do all of February is when they celebrate it. So just depending on your church or other than that is when they can do it. But there is a lot of resources available on that link there. And again, there's patches and you can get them that again, whenever you guys decide to do it, but typically it's celebrated the weekend before or after.
All right, very good. And that's something that's celebrated in several denominations. So
yes,
fantastic. All right. Our hot topic is sharing the scouting story. So Morgan, take it away.
Yeah, so we have talked about it before, but really with Pinewood Derbies and the crossover events and things like that coming up, it's always a good idea to share photos, take videos, and then have the others included in that way. These are just a few things from that document that we found or that I thought was going to be most helpful. But again, just making sure that something that the Scouts doing a journey, how they went, how they solved the problem or the solution that they had, or just again a summary of what went on in that day and during that activity. And then again, just having quality images, videos. A candid photo would be better than a posed photo, but again, any photos and visuals for that are great help for that. And then just strong quotes. I know some people sometimes write down what they heard one of the Scouts saying or a leader saying about how they're enjoying their time or their day. But make it seem like it's happening in real life and not scripted. And then again, holding an interesting event. So during your Pinewood Derbies, your Rain Gutter Regattas, really anything, Eagle Court of Honors, we really want to, be showing all of that in the media as well. And so you can do that by, contacting the local news station, reaching out to us to see if we have any at the council to see if we have any other resources. And then there's just a multiple ways. And then also sharing on social media, that can help on your personal page or through your unit page as well.
All right, thank you, Morgan. So, as volunteers, we spend a lot of time and effort to help our Scouts have a good experience. So we may as well show the fun that they're having to others. It's a good way to promote scouting in our community. All right, so with that being said, we are going to go to breakout. And how are we doing that this time? Are we assigning?
So there's 2 rooms set up right now. Let me see if it's going to let me. I'm not the host, so I do. So Joe, you might have to.
I just made you the host, Morgan. So if you want to run through the
Okay.
assignments.
I got it. No, yep.
We'll also
Okay.
gotta work through a video fix over here.
Okay, so I'm opening all the rooms, so we should be able to, I don't know, what do you see? Are people able to join or, oh man. Okay, I'm having to,
So if you open the rooms and you hover next to somebody's name, you can just drop them into.
yep, I'm going through right now. Sorry, everyone, bear with us.
And we're gonna shoot to try to come back to the main room at about 7:40. So that
Okay,
we have
sounds
ample
good.
time to go through some updates and other information.
Okay, sounds good.